What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do a Heart's Desire reading for the sign of Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, you guys are last but not least in the zodiac lineup for Group 1. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay. So, pretty much been kind of a slow run with readings. Again, if you've been keeping up on the channel, between March and April really is going to be kind of slow months for everyone, as we are kind of centering ourselves in trying to push forward in what it is that we want to achieve. So, of course, monthly manifestations are going to be a little bit behind. If you're looking for your Scorpio, it will be coming eventually. You guys are probably going to be last for the month of April, but I'm going to try and primarily focus on those after after I finish with you guys Heart's Desire reading. Okay, so preliminary readings will be changing just a bit in how they come out until I get back on a routine, or whenever I decide to put them out. Okay, things change on this channel a lot if you're not aware, but I truly do appreciate your patronage and rocking with me as changes do come about. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and shuffle for you guys to start your reading. We do have a lot of cups energy here. Okay, we have the Six of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Okay, possibly you guys dishing out accomplishments for yourself, because Nine of Cups is usually being secure within oneself in regards to, self accomplishments, things of that nature, and possibly sharing that with another person. Okay, of what you have been accomplishing, maybe in the sense of reuniting with someone, with the Six of Cups coming up. Usually Two of Cups talks about reuniting, but the way the Six of Cups reads in this deck, you see the two cups here are full while the others are empty. Okay, and so there's possibly a lot of sharing of emotions or feelings between you and another person, and you talking about maybe a lot of things that you've been working on and trying to accomplish within yourself. Okay, so very strong energy here. That, of course, is water energy, yourself, Pisces, and Cancer. Okay, 3 shuffles here. All right, now we do have the Nine of Cups yet again, but with the Lovers this time. Okay, and so again, like I said, some kind of reunion possibly with this Lovers card coming up. Definitely giving yourself a lot of self-love, as we see this Nine of Cups does have a heart on it. Okay, but the heart is surrounding just one cup. Okay, all the other cups are divvied up, 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom. Okay, and so, but they are pointed in a way that it feels like, you've poured into yourself and outward to others, and kind of rebuilding yourself, Scorpio, as need be, to reconnect in a way. Okay, with potentially someone in particular, or maybe just grounding yourself in a passion that you love. Okay, now there is the Two of Wands and the Nine of Cups. Okay, Two of Wands is usually talking about trying to get ready to embark on a journey of some sort, okay, for yourself. All right, it also talks about maybe some form of a decision of where it is you want to go. Okay, you have these 2 wands here. You could be in on a path towards something, or you could be coming from something. Okay, depends on the perspective of you, Scorpio, looking at this Two of Wands over here. Okay, last shuffle before we go ahead and cut. So hopefully, you know, again, if you are somewhere in there as it relates to that pre-read, by all means, stick around for the rest of the reading, okay? Now, remember, take what resonates and pass the rest to the next, okay? Now, let's start with one from the top, which is your present energy, one from the bottom, which is your past energy, and then one energetically from the middle, which my eye is going directly towards, as I let a few cards pass by here, towards this one here in regards to your future energy. Let me just slide over just a little bit so that way you can still see when we turn the deck over to look at the possible overall outcome of this energy. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see still in the frame. All right, so let's see what's going on within your energy, starting with the present energy for you, Scorpio, which is Ace of Swords. Okay, Ace of Swords, meaning that you want to come forth with some kind of truth, or someone is offering you truth, in the sense of how this hand, as we lay it down flat, is kind of aiming towards giving to a person, okay? And possibly towards, like I said, coming towards you, okay? Maybe presently you are asking for people to be a little bit truthful with you, maybe in the sense of advice that you may need. Now, we have kind of talked about this in your past energy to kind of avoid asking other people advice, especially for you, Scorpio, being somewhat private as a water sign. Still waters run deep, okay? And so you may want to be careful or mindful, depending upon if the person you are asking advice from is actually well versed in the topic that you need assistance with, okay? But if it's someone that is more so on the negative side, you might want to stay away from asking them for any advice, okay? But for others of you, it could be you offering some form of honesty to someone as it is asked of you, okay? And so it's best to be upfront and forthright with this Ace of Swords, all right? Let's move on to past energy for you, Scorpio, which is in the Magician, okay? The Magician coming up yet again. I believe the Magician came up previously in the Heart's Desire readings for Group 1, possibly either in the future placement or in the overall outcome, okay? But in the past, you may have been trying to manifest or manipulate a situation to be in your favor, okay? And so maybe you are now learning from that, maybe expressing that presently about what you were trying to attempt in the past, okay? Maybe it was based off of trying to have a certain focus on whatever it is you were working on, and it required a lot of your attention, attention to detail in a way, and so it did kind of distract you from what you truly wanted or was trying to obtain, all right? Maybe you found yourself really busy. I don't, almost feeling like Seven of Cups energy, having way too many things going on to be able to focus on one thing at a time, or given enough time to one thing, okay? But it was about really prioritizing, okay? And some things had to fall by the wayside for you to be able to do something that you truly wanted to do, okay? Possible sacrifices too, okay? Now, let's see what's going on in the future energy for you, Scorpio. And it is Three of Cups, okay? So some kind of communing and future placement. Here with the Three of Cups, the cups are interlocking with this heart in the middle of the card here, okay? So usually that is talking about not rebuilding, which is the Three of Pentacles. But talking about communing, maybe like I said, reconnecting with people that you haven't been around in a long time. Maybe some form of celebration of something new transpiring in your life, okay? But definitely the vibe of reconnecting in some way, okay? So, with that being said, let's see what is at the bottom of the deck in regards to this energy here as the overall outcome. And it is Temperance, okay? Temperance. Temperance, I tell you, in the amount of readings that I do on this channel, is always coming up, either with a general writer's weight or within these readings here, okay? But we have a seesaw that has pretty much 5 balls, okay? So some form of change. Now, the overall outcome is patience, okay? Because that's what temperance is. Temperance is requiring or asking patience of you. It's also about testing the waters, okay? And so in order for you to have this positive outcome that you seek, really, Scorpio, in the sense of reuniting with certain people that you've possibly been away from for a certain amount of time, you're going to have to temper your way back in, okay? It is not something that can be forced or rushed, all right? And so you have 4 balls on one side and you have 1 on the other, okay? As they're kind of popping upward, okay? And so it's really about taking your time and pouring into others just as much as they pour into you. If you've been keeping up with your monthly manifestations, you did have a message that is very striking to me that has kind of overlapped into other energy and into other readings, is the time to give and not to take, okay? And so whatever it is that maybe in the past you took advantage of someone, it is time to give back to that person, okay? Or to give back in a sense of community or any form of giving back, okay? Whether it be to family, friends, work, something of other, okay? You can go and check out, I can't remember what month that was. I mean, we're only on the 4th month. So I think it might have been your February. If you want to go and check that out, go on the playlist on my channel and check out monthly manifestations and check out February, okay? Because I think that might have been where it came up at, is your February reading. So let's get into the clarifiers. And we're going to go ahead and shuffle here as well. We have the Knight of Inspiration and the 4 of Emotions, okay? Which is the 4 of, the Knight of Wands, sorry, and the 4 of Cups, okay? And so maybe you are contemplating in the sense of coming forth with an offer that may be somewhat passionate again, or maybe it was something irrational that happened, and trying to give some form of explanation. Either you are trying to contemplate how to kind of re-enter people's lives with this horse charging in and fireworks behind it, or someone is going to have to consider, okay, doing a lot of thinking. May not just take the first thing that you offer them, okay? People have the right to be choosy, Scorpio, especially in considering the situation that you put them in, okay? And so you have to be, you know, willing to accept whatever their feelings are, because their feelings are, you know, are valid, okay? 4 of Cups still here with the Ace of Voices, which is another Ace of Swords, okay? Still, you know, kind of minding what you say or how you say it, and how forthright you are in order for this person to really accept the offer that's being given, okay? With the Four of Cups, it is about offering of feelings, but kind of a constant, if you will, okay? A constant giving of explanation, justification, things of that nature that are just constantly stacking up to a particular person, okay? It could be to you, or it could be you to someone else, okay? Considering that, the second shuffle, as we split one last time before the last shuffle, and it is the Ace of Voices with the Three of Emotions, which is the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Swords, okay? Speaking to a group of people, okay? Maybe having to make a choice, all right? That could be very cutting, okay? It's time to make a decision, okay, in some way, maybe between three people. Or, again, Three of Cups coming back up again, kind of reuniting with certain people, okay, or just determining who is still going to stay connected to you, all right? So, that's the last shuffle for you guys, Scorpio, on the clarifiers. If that is resonating with you, feel free to give a like, or you can do even better and subscribe so you can be notified the next time I do a reading for your sign, okay? One from the top is for the Ace of Swords, one from the bottom is for the Magician, and then one energetically from the middle and I is going straight to here for the Three of Cups. Felt a little bit unsure about it, but went on ahead and took it anyway. I think we're good with it. And then we'll look at the bottom of the deck to clarify this Temperance, okay? So let's see what's getting paired with this present energy of the Ace of Swords. It's the Justice card, okay? Fairness, obviously, is here. That's Libra energy, okay? So you could either have Libra in your chart or someone you know has that energy, but it's just an honorable mention. They don't have to. But to pair swords with the Justice card, we have this woman who has kind of like this outer skin that is separating, and then kind of her, you know, real self or true self is behind it, almost like shadow in a way, and then also splitting and then exerting out this energy from the mind's eye, okay? There's this pathway at the bottom where she's kind of walking up, okay? So again, it's about fairness, being and speaking truth to yourself, possibly before speaking it to someone else, okay? Peeling back the layers that are you in regards to maybe your thought process of things that have transpired, or what it is that you want in the present, okay? That is your present energy. Let's see what's going on in past energy for you, Scorpio, with the Magician and the Nine of Inspiration, which is the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands has been really popular in these readings as of lately. And being paired with the Magician, again, like I talked about, being distracted and kind of removing yourself or making some sacrifices in order for you to be able to obtain whatever it is you were trying to do. Once Scorpios decide to do something, especially if it is in regards to money making, or as it is important or imperative, you will block out other people so that way you can do what it is that you need to do, okay? And so that is possibly what transpired in the past, okay? Hopefully you got what it was that you wanted. That could be the question posed between yourself and other people, that you were able to achieve what it is that you wanted at the cost of blocking some people out or going on your own to do something in the past. Maybe that is for some of you, not all, that you decided to embark on a journey on your own and did not want anyone else, kind of tagging along with you, as you wanted to be able to do something on your own. Okay, and that is the past. All right, now that's past energy for you, Scorpio. Now let's go into future energy. Three of Cups is being paired with the Emperor. Okay, Three of Cups with the Emperor. Okay, we all know that the Emperor is kind of like boss like status in a way, making all the rules, sitting at the top of the mountain, the hill, the throne, if you will, more so than any other king in the rest of the suits of tarot. Okay, with the Three of Cups, it could be a celebration going on, as far as, again, like I said, you achieving your goal, and bringing everyone around to know what it is. Now, you being a water sign, and like I said, somewhat private, of course, the moon has not came up, but I still count the monthly manifestations as they deal with moon phases. And so you probably have been kind of diligently working before really revealing the newest of things that have been done. Okay. Maybe for some of you, what you are working on requires the assistance of other people that you know are good at what they do and could be useful to you. And so you may call upon some people that you know. But definitely, if you have not been around them in a minute or have not shared what it is that you have been trying to work on, then take your time asking people. Okay. More so based on what their schedule allows them to do, and if they would really be a good fit. I talked about that, I think, a little bit last year, in the sense of working with friends. It can sometimes be beneficial, and then other times not so much. Okay, someone always ends up crossing the line. So kind of just be mindful of those final decisions that you make, and make sure that it's a good fit for you and the other person, and to lay down the line, thus this justice and the Ace of Swords here in the present energy, so that way no one oversteps. Okay, now let's see what is clarifying this Temperance card at the bottom of the deck. We have the Magician again. Okay, Eight of Pentacles underneath the Temperance card. Okay, so Eight of Pentacles is talking about working, okay, things in process and taking your time with it, obviously, and still working on something. Okay, and so it's either you or everyone else is, again, if you end up kind of trying to explain or having the conversation with people, they will be understanding in the sense of also taking their time with you as well, because they are also working on something. All right, everyone at this point in time, I think, is pretty busy with work, whether it be their professional or whatever they moonlight as in the nighttime. Okay, all of us seem to have multiple things that we're doing now, especially after the whole pandemic, and so it's just trying to get back into the swing of things. Okay, but you're definitely trying to manifest possibly either more work for yourself, depending upon what it is that you do. Okay, I'll say, for example, as it pertains to me working on my Etsy shop, I am constantly looking for ways to advertise and things like that on my platforms, for my shop, just to build more clientele, and sales for my shop. And so it's a very long process. It's requires a lot of patience on my part with myself and getting people in. So that is my example that I will give to you guys. Don't know if you're dealing with that, but you might be. And so just stay diligent with it. Be proud and confident in everything that you do. And just keep pushing as much as possible because someone is watching. Okay, someone is watching you, and keep diligently working. Okay, focus more so on putting out good, whatever it is, whether it be content, product, advertising yourself. That is a job in itself too. Okay, so don't think that you're lacking or slacking. Is just about getting it to the right audience and utilizing all your resources as much as possible. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Heart's Oracle to see what is to come or the final decision for Scorpio. What is to come and the final decision for Scorpio. Okay. Now, if you made it all the way to the end here, I truly appreciate your patronage. This may be part of the reading that pertains more to you than the rest, which is fine. As long as you got something out of the reading, that is all that matters to me the most. Okay? Even if it is just a lesson that you may be able to apply in your life later on. Okay? Just know that you heard it here from Miss Golden 83. Okay? Now, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. And it's Confront. Okay? Another popular card that continues to come out occasionally in these readings. Okay? Number 18. 1 for intuition. 8 for balance. Okay? And then we have this man here that is kind of looking at this doorway where there is a moon and there is a shadow. Okay, the shadow seems more adolescent than anything, while the man standing on the other side is more of an adult. Okay, so some shadow work needs to be done. It's time to confront yourselves, Scorpio. How often do you do this? If you're a spiritualist, you should definitely be taking advantage of new moon energy if you are trying to invoke change in your life and within yourself primarily. If you are trying to get out of a particular phase, then you should be utilizing and tapping into the full moon energy to get rid of this shadow self. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. All right, so Scorpios, you may need to do multiple shadow work or rituals as far as centering and reevaluating yourself at least 2 times a month, because you want to start invoking what it is that you want and what you don't, and not focus on what you don't want in your life. Okay, feel free to go on my community post so you can see the frequent angel numbers and the short meanings that I usually use or reference in the readings here on the channel. Okay, so I'm still going to go into the book for you guys, just in case if you've never seen Confront and just came on or just joined the channel. Page 65. $18 equaling out to 9 definitely talks about a completion of wrapping up. Okay, so there's something that has to end. Okay, you do have awaiting results up underneath. Okay, and so you could be in a waiting game as far as awaiting, again, just truly clear as day, awaiting results of something. Okay, waiting to be able to harvest from the fruits of your labor or enjoy it. Okay, but at this point in time, it's time for you to confront yourself about something which is totally opposite of, as far as separating yourself from work and personal. Okay. So your keywords here for confront are fear, question, explore, courage, illusion, and clarity. Introspection and clarity are important at this time. Feelings that have lain dormant are now coming to the surface. They have been part of your subconscious for some time. They're referred to as your shadow self and represent all of your fears and delusions regarding matters of the heart. You may have concerns about examining these issues, but know that when an issue rises to the surface, it's ready to be faced and healed. Have the courage to acknowledge and confront these newly emerging feelings. Look at them from all sides and try to determine where they first came from. When and how were they planted in your subconscious? Question the validity of these feelings, or validity of these feelings, sorry. Often they were based on your childhood imagination and are no more than illusions. They're not appropriate for your adult relationships, yet they persist. They're not based on reality, but they're powerful influences and can affect your relationships in major ways. They can even prevent a romantic relationship from manifesting. Have the courage to explore your beliefs and misconceptions about love. You may find that these emerging feelings are based not only on your limited perceptions, but also on what you actually saw or experienced as a child. Know that whatever your reality was then, it does not have to be your reality now. You are no longer that person. Examine these feelings and gain clarity on who you are and what is true for you regarding your relationships. Okay? The affirmation here is I examine my feelings about relationships and release what is no longer my truth. I examine my feelings about relationships and release what is no longer my truth. The archetype here is the moon, okay? Thus Pisces energy, okay? So remember earlier on in your reading, I did state moon energy about for you, Scorpio, in the sense of being a water sign. You guys usually pretty much rock together between you, Cancer, and Pisces. I'm not going to say one more than the other, but water signs tend to like rock together, okay, when it comes to my readings. And so Pisces is definitely, I feel like, one of those signs that is probably in everyone's chart. Cancer is not in everyone's chart, okay, as far as birth charts, if you've ever looked. Okay, like for example, in my birth chart, I have no Cancer in my birth chart. So I'm not going to say that I don't really vibe with Cancer, because I still have you and Pisces in my chart. Your sign and Pisces in my chart. So I still feel like I may have, I still have the ability to connect with Cancer, but on a different level, okay, through other means, such as other placements, okay. But nonetheless, I'm not trying to get all into that. Y'all know how we do, Scorpio. Between you and Pisces, I always end up talking to longer. But nonetheless, I have no problems with it as long as it helps y'all. But definitely moon energy here, and then this 9 of Wands showing up as far as kind of blocking yourself out to focus on yourself. Maybe it is about some self-healing that you needed to do that made you step away from other people in order to keep them safe or to keep yourself safe for the moment, okay? But for whatever reason, make sure you are just very forthright when you reconnect with people, okay? Now, I will suggest, and shameless plug, as I always say, To check out my Etsy shop, I did just release, I'll probably put it on YouTube within the next day or so. But a new tea called Sacred Garden. I'm really happy with this tea. I only have two, but I like both of my teas. But this one is like really deep in flavor, beautiful aroma. It has a beautiful floral blend, something that you could probably rock with a little bit more so than the Golden Bliss, which I would say you can probably drink all day long, and does have a little bit of caffeine in it. Sacred Garden doesn't have enough caffeine for me to really even legitimately say that there's a lot in it. It's very low, so but it's a black tea with a floral blend, very woody aroma and kind of flavor, but notes of just chamomile and lavender. And so I would suggest kind of making that a part of your ritual, Scorpios, in the sense of really reflecting on yourself. I love tea for reflecting. Coffee does not do it. For me, coffee is really and can be an addictant. I like coffee. I drink both. But coffee gets me through the day. Tea helps me reflect. It helps me relax. And so I really think that might be something that's more your speed, Scorpio, than the Golden Bliss. Okay, now if you're doing something during the day, then you could even get both. Get the gift set and maybe a sample pack refill of the Sacred Garden so you can try both. But I really dig it. Okay, so feel free to check that out. You can see the link below the video title. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have surrender to the magic of who you are for your final message of support. Okay, new energy alert. So definitely welcome to the channel, new Scorpios, or if you are another sign with Scorpio in your chart, welcome. Okay, surrender to the magic of who you are. It says we all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. Okay, so I may take this as the magician yet again. Okay, we all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. Okay, and so we have this woman kind of sitting in a meadow here, a horse that is behind her, kind of majestically, really, because it's almost like I didn't notice the horse being there until now. But really just very serene setting, and just finding that inner peace and magician within you. Okay, in the sense of being uniquely yourself. All right, stop thinking that certain people will not accept you unless you give them some other version of yourself. Okay, just be unapologetically you. Okay, but also tap into that special uniqueness that is you. Okay, there's no one else like you. Okay, and so let that shine brighter than anything else. Okay, to be someone other than who you are is just not only lying to others but lying to yourself. Okay, so that is the best that I can relate to you at this point, Scorpio. We have a lot of energy to tap into within the next couple of weeks, so until then, peace.